Okay, we are now joined by the first member of our championship winning, first two members of our championship winning team. We got Coy Gibbs and crew chief Dave Rogers. If you have questions for either of these two gentlemen, please raise your hand. We'll get you a mic. We'll start with Jenna up here in the front, and then go to Bob.
Hey, Jennifer, congratulations, guys. Dave, you were really confident on those restarts. Did you just know that Daniel was going to get it done?
Yeah, all this started, weeks ago. Everyone at Joe Gibbs Racing preparing a great race car. We knew we were going to have a good piece out here. Missed the balance a little bit and didn't have quite the speed we wanted, but we knew we had a good race car. And Daniel and I have been talking all week. We've watched these races. It's going to come down to a green-white checker. And so we talked about it every day this week. We got to go. We got to make things happen at the end. And I knew where Daniel's mind was. He had great research all day, and I was confident he could get it done, and he did. It was a heck of a race with Austin. Austin's a great defending champion, and to beat him heads up at the end was a lot of fun.
And Coy, big day for you today, I would say, is in the organization. Is it going to be a big weekend as well?
We hope so. It's been good so far. Obviously, Dave brought one home for us, so we'll see what we can keep going here. It's been exciting. Hopefully, well, I think I'm still a little nervous for tomorrow, obviously. So wait and see how that plays out.
Did this one surprise you at all tonight?
No, I definitely think we had a shot at the championship for sure. I think the win's the greatest part of it for me. I think Daniel now can say, I won a race, so get off my back. That would probably be the biggest thing, if I had to guess.
We'll go to Bob next.
Bob Pockris, Fox Sports. Dave, was there any thought that Daniel maybe didn't have, I must say didn't have it in him to make the contact he needed, but you've watched him race so long. Was there any thought like, man, he's going to want to do it without making contact?
I was hoping Austin didn't come home on a rollback. I knew we were going to go in there and get aggressive. So, it's that's racing there. I had to go back and watch the film, but I don't think we got into him too hard. But for a championship, you're gonna race pretty hard. So, I knew he had it in him. We just had to show everyone he had it in him.
And Dave, do you know what you're doing yet next year?
Tonight I'm going to celebrate all night long. Yeah, we don't know. Coy and I have some things to talk about, but it's going to be good no matter what it is.
Over here to
John. For Dave, John Haverland with the Circuit Journal. I just wanted to tell you that 5 years ago tonight was Carl Edwards' last Cup win, so that's the other, back-flipping driver. So I just wanted to see if that has any significance or memory for you.
Yeah, Carl's, back in 2016, we got to work together and we became best friends, and he's still a best friend of mine. I always tell my guys, you just never know. You never know when your last one's going to be. And, 2016, we won Texas and sitting on top of the world. I thought, heck, Carl and I are going to make a run at it for the next 10 years. We're going to win 5 championships along the way. And things just turned a different way at the end of the season. So I was like, wow. I thought about it a lot. It's like, that might be my last race win as a crew chief. So to come in here in a must-win type situation and get it done with Daniel and not make that my last race win as a crew chief is really special. It means a lot to me.
Luis Torres, the podium finish. Dave, this whole weekend has kind of showed a never die attitude, especially when the car arrived late Friday. Do you feel like from that point on, things were going to go your way by that point?
Yeah, when Coach says it all the time. You measure people when their back's up against the wall. Anybody can do it when it's easy. So Coach and Coy and the whole Gibbs family, they've been great mentors to me for over 20 years now. So when adversity struck the other day, the first thing you do is look at your guys. And I saw that none of them were shaken. It, didn't bother any of them. They're like, okay. And so we were coming up with a new game plan every 5 minutes. At first we're going to have plenty of time. Cars going to get here, plenty of time for practice, no sweat. Then it wasn't going to make practice. And then it was going to come right before. And as those scenarios unfolded, we just kept adjusting the game plan. Okay, if it does this, we're going to do that. So we had a plan for every situation. Nobody buckled. We have awesome teammates. If you look at when we unloaded, if you looked at, that car, there's just a swarm of bees on it. Everyone at Joe Gibbs Racing was on the car, just putting on the shark fin, helping get the TVs, cameras installed, getting our reference measurements. Everyone just performed like professionals. And so I think for them to get this championship right now just caps it off nicely.
We'll go to the back left here. I know Jonathan, Zach, and Davey have questions.
Thank you. John DeField, the racing experts. For Dave, of course, you've been in the sport for 16 seasons as a crew chief. Finally won a championship with the Drivers' Championship. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, it's hard to put in words. It's you dream about this. He counts. I do too. We count the Owners' Championship in 08, but we count 2016 too. Jimmy, where's my trophy? You grow up watching this sport and dreaming about being in it and dreaming about winning and winning championships. I mean, as a little kid, that's all you want to do, or it's all I want to do. And to come here and get it done is just awesome. But what's best about it is the team. It's the people. Again, coach, you win with people, you win with people, you win with people. What's great is over the 20 plus years I've been with Gibbs, I've worked with amazing people that have taught me a lot. They've cared for me. They've mentored me. We've won together. We lost together. And now I'm the guy with the gray hair. I'm the old guy. And to watch our young guys win races and see the excitement in their face, to be part of Daniel Hemrick's first win, his first championship, the excitement comes from just watching them guys have so much enjoyment, and those are probably the memories I'll take away most.
Zach?
Zach Sterniolo, front stretch. Dave, Daniel's been so close so many times this year alone. What does this moment do to change how you look at those particular near misses?
Oh, I don't know. They're in the rearview mirror. The windshield's so big and the rearview mirror's so small. You always look forward. The great thing is, that question is horrible for the record. I dreaded it more than Daniel did. I knew when we walked on the grid, we're going to hear, when's your first win? Is tonight the night? That's that probably puts more pressure on you than anything else. And it's, as a crew chief, that's the last thing you want someone to put in your driver's head. As you put up the window net, hey, is tonight the night? What you want them focused on is good restarts, wise decisions behind the wheel. Now he's got that. You can't ask that no more. So I think Daniel Hemrick is going to be a completely different driver from today forward, just because of the mental aspect. And think about it. Yeah, we had some near misses. We could have won a couple more. But he just stepped up and beat the best of the best with all that pressure. He didn't just, 22 didn't wreck out. We beat him. So Daniel Hemrick is going to have a lot of confidence. He should have a lot of confidence.
You mentioned focusing forward. How much of that mentality do you feel like attributed to the success that you guys had this season and now culminating in a championship win?
Yeah, certainly. We know we're Joe Gibbs Racing is building great race cars. Our teammates are in the 54. They they've won so many races. I can't even count. I don't have enough fingers, I don't think. They've won so many races, and we're racing the same stuff. I mean, we all have the same cars. There's days that Chris Carroll's a great crew chief. There's days he makes better calls than me, and there's days that Daniel gets out-dueled. But the equipment at Joe Gibbs Racing is first class. Everyone back at the shop builds really good race cars, and we knew that. So we knew when we came here we would have a car fast enough to win. We just had to execute, and we've been chomping at the door. In life, if you keep knocking at the door, eventually somebody answers. It may not be as soon as you want, but they eventually answer. So we knew it could happen, and we're pretty confident it's going to happen tonight, and it did.
Davey Siegel with Front Stretch. Dave, Daniel has been very complimentary of you this year. He said that, you've gotten another gear out of him this year. You've changed him as a race car driver and made him the best version of himself that he's been throughout his racing career. What's your relationship with him like, and why do you think that you've been able to do that with him?
Well, that's an amazing compliment. Getting back to the people and the gray hairs and, trying to be a positive role model or leader or person in someone else's life. That's most important, right? Racing cars is fun, but influencing people and being a positive role model is a wonderful opportunity. And I said it already, I've been at Gibbs for 20 years. JGR has the best people in the sport. The Gibbs family, Coy here, and Joe, JD. There's just so many people there that make you better. They just teach you, and they don't teach you by telling you. They teach you by doing and showing. And so I've had just great mentorship. I've had great leadership over the years. And so if Daniel thinks that some of that bled off onto me, then that's a huge compliment, and I appreciate it.
Daniel, and then Alex.
Daniel McFadden, frontstretch.com. Coy, can you explain the decision-making process at JGR for bringing on Hemrick this year, a guy who, though he has been a front runner for many years, wasn't able to get that win for so long? What made him so attractive enough that you'd want to bring him on?
I mean, I think for our organization, it was more of a challenge. We thought Daniel could win. Obviously, they've been fighting Dave and Daniel all year to get that win. So to get it is fantastic. I think pairing Dave and Daniel together was the right thing to do. And I knew Dave, he's extremely encouraging. Probably the most encouraging crew chief I've heard on the radio ever. So, I think the kids just needed a little bit of encouragement, a little break, and to get in some good equipment. And then we thought we could win with them, and it's nice to have done that.
How hard will it be to see him walk out the door now, going to another team, but knowing he got the title for you guys?
Well, I didn't say he was going to win in the future. I just said he was going to win at Joe Gibbs Racing. I'm just kidding. just kidding. No, he's our guy, and after the banquet, he's not our guy anymore. It's our sport. We'll go toe-to-toe with him. But I think my personal beliefs are his best chance to win at our organization. We'll see how he does in the future.
Alexandra with the Charlotte Observer. For Dave, you talked about just how drivers can tend to get in their heads with, being in the situation that Daniel's been in this year with all the second place, third place finishes. Were there moments this season where you saw that affect him?
No, I don't think, no, I can't put my finger on a time that, this affected him. But there's plenty of times I've asked, how does it not? We're sitting there talking about code words and strategy and what we got to do, and a reporter pops in, hey, is today the day? It's just a distraction. So when you're trying to compete distractions are part of the competition, right? So when you're trying to compete, you just try to silence the noise and kind of shut down the outside voices and just focus on what's at hand. But to answer your question, no, I never saw a time where, oh, that affected us. But there's plenty of times like, gosh, man, I feel bad for him to have to answer this question every week. And I'm happy for him. He never has to answer it again.
And then he obviously had to show a lot of restraint, it seemed like, at Martinsville there in order to kind of make it through to this round. So were there any conversations leading up to this race with him about what strategy would be like and not necessarily having to do that for this one?
Yeah, Daniel coined the phrase house money. We didn't have any wins in the season. Probably a lot of people counted us out. Didn't think we'd be in the Final Four to begin with. We didn't count ourselves out. We got in a situation there at the end of Martinsville where, we lost control of the race late. And, honestly, we had a really good shot at winning it, and we didn't. And we put ourselves in a situation where we just had to protect points. And that's so challenging. That racetrack's great. I love Martinsville. And to go from one lap, in contention to win, and a few laps later, okay, now we have to survive so we can play tomorrow. That's an emotional heartbreak. It's really tough to swallow as a competitor. So the talks this week were house money. They count us out. There's no points in the line. It's just smash the gas and go. So yeah, it was definitely more aggressive mindset at Phoenix than Martinsville.
We'll take our final question right here.
Spencer Hill, ESPN Radio Albuquerque, for Coy. It kind of flew underneath the radar tonight, but also with 4 wins, Ty was able to get the Rookie of the Year. And I just wanted to know your thoughts on that and emotions moving forward.
No, that was great. We were excited for him. I think it's kind of weird because you start the year with all the COVID stuff. You don't know if you're going to practice, qualify, what's going to happen. So we were honestly, we were going to run like 10 races. And then we started looking at it, and they're like, if we don't run the next race, we may not get in the next race. So we kind of built out a whole year for him. Obviously got John Hunter in there. And then, we call it the all-star car because you got Kyle every once in a while, Denny and Martin. So, no, it was, I didn't expect that, honestly. So that was special.
All right, Coy, Dave, thank you for the time tonight, and congratulations. Enjoyed the championship.
Thank you.